Hello all, welcome to a session with Quantgnosis Diary. Today we're going to cover some stocks that are looking good for next few weeks to next few months. So these are basically for short-term trading. So we'll be sharing for short-term traders only. Okay, so we'll start with the view of the market and then we'll move on to the individual stocks. So as you can see in the chart, Nifty has been moving quite steadily, small but steadily. The trend is intact, and so the price has been successfully able to go above after filling the gap. Also price continued moving upward above 11,600. So previously I mentioned that 11,600 above is possible that Nifty may test 11,850. Now let's look at that. So for starter, we'll do what? We'll check the Nifty chart. Okay, and then we'll remove this level. This is not no longer required. So this will be your stop loss for all existing long. Okay, so which means if price comes down below this levels, let's say this is the level. Okay, so 340 to 380, 11,340 to 11,380 is stop loss for your existing longs. Okay, so if it comes down below, you are not going to hold any longs. Secondly, in current trend, let's say if market will continue upward, that's the expectation is 11,780 to 11,850 is the short term target for Nifty, as long as this low is protected, which means 11,600 above or this candle low. As long as this is protected, price will continue moving upward towards 11,780 to 11,850 zone. Okay, so that's what the Nifty expectation is. Now this is completely technical view, right? So but there are a couple of fundamental things that will come out on the first week of September. So which means Monday, after Monday, Tuesday, this Wednesday, Thursday, right? So this entire week there will be multiple fundamental data. So for example, GDP data will come out for the second quarter, which is supposed to be the worst hit quarter. So most of the outside country you have seen a GDP contraction of 25% or above there has been happened, right? So same for India also. This is the worst quarter GDP that's supposed to come out. So we'll get the how worse it is. So that will be there, and then there will be auto sales number, and there is CPI, and then inflation and that kind of thingy, and there is also AGR related and moratorium bank. So all those data will come up in very short time, so expect the volatility to increase a little bit, hence trade a little carefully. Also if you look at the India VIX, the VIX has been falling for a while now, and then market is also rising. But if you see now, there has been like prices around 820 around price. The VIX has not fallen down much below that. So this is almost same to the January February high. Okay, so this is supposed to take support here, and that is what happening. You can see price rejections is there. So it's possible the VIX may move upward from here. Okay, so this is above 15. So as long as above 15 VIX, we can expect some increase in volatility in short term. So that's the one possibility is there. Okay, now let's go to Bank Nifty. So Bank Nifty, we have predicted a bigger breakout from here, from this level. So once this high was taken, so this breakout happened, and you can see price continue upward very strongly, and all the bank stock that was shared earlier all performed very well. Okay, now the major resistance for banks are around 25 250 or 25 200, approximately here 25 200, 25 250 is banks major resistance. So with the current RSI, if you can see a little bit over bot zone. If you see here, 2019 March was one time which was there, and then around November. But Bank Nifty did not make top around here, but it took another couple of months to make the top, which means it's a very possibility with the current momentum that is present in this Bank Nifty, it will continue upward and it will hit the 25k. Okay, so whether it will be able to fill the gap and then continue moving upward, that will be different thing. So you can see this. This is a runaway gap, which is basically because the while falling the momentum was very strong and then it gapped down and then that gap never filled up. And this is also that 13th March closing and high. So that 13th March was there was a big circuit fall and then I think a single or double circuit in that day happened in the index and then price recovered that day. Okay, so same for Nifty also. This candle wherever bought on that day, they will try to get out now. So they will like to start selling from here. So expect some resistance here because of the psychology of those people trying to who are trapped here. They will try to book some profit. So some weak hands likely to get liquidated around here 25k before Bank Nifty can move further up. So there's a small retraction expected here. So price hit here and then slowly come down a little and then move off. So that's the expectation for the up move. But we'll keep an eye for the fundamental related things like AGR hearing or moratorium, how banks are performing that. But purely technical speaking, it's a very good chance it will come to 25k at least. So that goes for the bank. And since most of the bank stocks I shared earlier, I don't think I will need to individually update each one of them. Maybe I'll do another live sessions and update individually in that live sessions. Now, for some of the banks, if you see that there is clear breakout and very high move in one single day, in that day only, right? So all of this, how you're going to manage your existing trade. Okay, keep a trailing stop loss, which is around, like I mentioned, 50% of the candle gain, 50% of the post breakout gain, and then slightly below it. So either you can also use a Fibonacci 61% retracement, so approximately slightly below 50% here. You can keep that as trailing stop loss. If price comes below that, you reduce your positions. On the other hand, since the move was very strong, a little bit further up move, you will be looking at least partial profit booking in your existing positions and hold the remaining with stop loss with to this closing candle, expecting the price may moving upward from here further. Okay, so next thing is, so this is applicable for all of the banks, not for only the swing trades that we are looking for. So that's my market and index view related to banks. And so some of the fundamental related things like auto sector stocks and whatever happening in Asia, so the telecom stocks, so sector specific stocks will may be impacted depending on the fundamental news. So keep that in mind and plan your trade accordingly if it goes against you or in favor of you, either way. So plan the trade beforehand. Next thing is we'll jump into this list of stock that I've selected for next few weeks to few months. So first we'll go for short term, very short term, which is basically I'm expecting move between 1 to 3 weeks or less than 1 month. So I'm expecting the move to happen within the September. I'll start from the bottom and go start with the UPL. Okay, so UPL has been in a downtrend, but even before the corona happened and from 2019 itself, after the election rally happened and price went on a downtrend. Okay, so that trend line is coming around. If you this trend line may have a little bias because I am not connecting exact. So this two candles which was outside this trend line was above this, which means this trend line may not be very perfect, but expect this is also, if you see here, the previous swing low is there, so price was giving resistance. So price may not move like one way from here. There might be a little up move here, then come back, then up move, then come back. So it may move zigzag as long as this is inside this zone till below 540. So after 540, 550 around here, 540, 550, the price is expected to move zigzag and test that. And then if price able to give a fresh breakout above, so price has an immediate target of near to 600. So 550 above, price may continue a bigger move, so which is there. And this is also a momentum stock. If you see here, there has been some sideways movement, then breakout, sideways, breakout, some sideways. If you're trading in cash, this will be the better instrument, but this is may not be great as for your FNO trade. Okay, so if you see here, price has been moved up here, and it's possible that my price may go a little bit sideways here and then move off. Okay, so in that's the case where your FN options value may lose some premium, or your FNO futures contract might have a money stuck in your trade. Okay, so you don't want that. So for this is a better cash opportunity, and as long as this is above 490, or you can keep a 490 as a stop loss, below 490 closing as a stop loss, and then go long here. So expect 535 in short term, but in cash. But once the price move above 550, so that's where you are expecting a bigger momentum here. So that's my UPL view. And first, for volumes are for quite decent, so I'm expecting price not to correct immediately, but let's keep an eye. Next one is NMDC. So NMDC has a fundamental news on August 27th about the proposal of demerger. Okay, so I think that maybe impacted some of the sentiment here, and then there's one big buying happened here. And if you see, there's a small breakaway gap, which means this is a gap which is happened on breakout of happened based on the breakout. So this is a breakout gap, which means price is likely to take support any move that is up to 99. So this candle low price is supposed to take support. Okay, so 99 below you will be avoiding NMDC completely. Okay, now price has immediate short-term resistance is 101, 113, 118 and 123. Okay, so this will be more of a little bit slow going stock, so you might be want to do a buy in dips and keep a stop loss which is below this candle low. Also, based on the accumulations and the volume, I am not expecting a big correction, so might not get a short opportunity in this. So we are looking for long opportunity in that. Bank India. So I am going to include some of the bank which are not like top banks, because top banks we already discussed, and offbeat banks, these are coming in my list. So we are going to discuss those. So if you see here, there has been price has been making a circular bottom here, and which may look like a bit like a handle of your cup. So this will be like this, right? So there has been the handle, and if you see, this is a bigger cup formations, and this is a breakout above the trend line. The volume is semi-decent from here, 45 level, and I'm expecting price to continue further up because of last two candle. Okay, so immediate resistance around 56, and then above that around here 59. So Bank of India, 56 and 59 are immediate resistance, and you will need to keep a stop loss below 47 to below 45 depending on your trading plan. So if you are having a bigger target, so based on that you may need a little bit bigger stop loss, because price in case it goes sideways, so you need to hold for that. But since the momentum looking strong and it's a fresh breakout, price likely to continue, and might be next week itself it may come towards this level if banks are remain strong. Okay, so that is Bank of India. One thing so far you have noticed that most of our stocks we are looking for long positions, and we have not spoken about like short positions. So that's mainly because normally market is in long term is a long or a bull move. So if you notice from 2000 to 2020 or 1917 to 2000 or even before that, stock has always moved up, right? So that's one of the reason market is slightly bullish bias in the long run. Second reason, market is also in bullish bias in short term. So all the views are bullish in the short term. So that's why most of my our stocks are coming in bull trades. Okay. So moving to the next stocks, Astrogen, AstraZeneca Pharma. Okay, so this stock has been having good fundamental about COVID-19 player because of the vaccines and all those things. Okay, so yeah, so fundamentally strong, and then price has been rallied, and it also has good liquidity as price has been pushing up based on the liquidity. But if you look at the volume, there's a little bit different in this. There has been like short-term player mode and very sharp move. Like price has been bought around here, and then again profit booked around here. Then price bought again around here and profit booked again here in this level. Okay, so it seems like a lot of players are playing short term here, and they are some of the big players. But from if you look at from starting from here onward, so which is 300 low. If you see, this is a date of 10th of August. So from starting from 10th of August, price has not seen any fall from here. So which means they have a bigger conviction from here. So whatever for some reason they may not have the convictions here or some volatility caused here from here to here, but from this to this has changed. So people has accumulated very strongly here, and it's possible this is the second time and it's a double two. Say it's testing the same talk, but this may be a chance or a little bit retracement, and price may continue upward. So what you will be looking for, either if it's immediately give a breakout, you will entry on the breakout level, keep a stop loss slightly below it, or it comes a little bit correction, you will still be looking at accumulating this stock with some stop loss which are below this candle. So if you are buying in dips, you will be keeping a stop loss below 3383 or below 3300. Okay, so if you're buying on dips, so that's for only buying on dips. But if you're buying at the breakout level, then in that case you can keep a little bit higher stop loss, which will be your 3524. So 3524, 3520 around, you can keep a stop loss in case you are buying at the breakout level. But in case you are buying in the dips, keep the stop loss a little bit below. So depending on your time frame, how long you are planning to hold, this could give you a good return on short to mid term as well. So next one is GICRE, General Insurance Company. So this stock has been sideways from 165, and from the June, which is like June, July, August, this like almost 3 months completed of sideways. So you have seen what happens in the bank nifty after long term sideways, right? It has been long term sideways and price has been once breakout, and that has been very sharp. So GICRE is a similar setup like a bank nifty, but stock has been strong accumulation recently from 145 to 155. Let's say in 10 rupees zone, there has been strong accumulation happened in the stock, and but price has not moved up from here. So obviously that means that it doesn't mean that these guys bought just like that and definitely they're expecting a bigger move. So this is since the volume is strong here and price has been coming to again towards what I call intermediate support, this could be your good opportunity to buy and dips mode. Okay, so keep a little bit stop loss, since the stop loss is not very big and then potential of breakout is higher. So in this case also you can do like what we did in SBI. So you can go on small chunk sip around 150 and keep a stop loss slightly below 136 around here, 138 or 136 you keep a stop loss. Okay, and buy it around 150. So your initial target obviously is 165, where you can book 25% position and keep 75% positions in a hold and wait for the bigger move here. So that's GICRE. GMR Infra. So this is again a bit contradictory to my taste, because mainly the stock price is below 50 rupees, but uh, I feel you can trade in less quantity. If you see here, so initial liquidity happened, a strong accumulation, but then it made a new fresh 5 years high, okay, which is around 28. So this stock we discussed earlier also, this is stock we are carrying from previous week also, and it made fresh breakout above 26.5, and then intraday high it made 28. So it gave very good move from here, but intraday itself it was not able to sustain above multi-years high. So, and also you can see that volume here, prices, those people who bought here, they also liquidated here, they exited there. But despite that, a price able to hold this 25.05 level or 25 levels for, let's say, roughly 24.75 to 25 level roughly. So this 0.25 rupees range, if price is able to hold, which means there's a possibility this buyers may come back here and then this price will try to continue. But as you have seen that in the past also, last few days, the volatility has been increased with this higher participations of um, higher participations of market participants. Okay, so also there was a result here. GMR Info had a result on August 27th. So that's the one thing we have to keep in mind. So once the post result consolidation happen, price may continue moving upward. But in other cases, this could be a shorting opportunity at the same time. So if price breaks below 24.75, that might give you a quick short opportunity which can come towards 23 or 22 levels. So for that, keep an eye on that. Then Asian Paint. This is also again carry trade. And if you see, the accumulation volume is good and I'm expecting the price to continue moving upward. However, last 3 days price has been consolidating around here, around 2000 level. So I'm guessing some weak hand is exiting there as well. And so since all of these 3 days has a low of 1950, so if price able to hold this line, price will continue moving upward. So fresh positions can be built around 1950 for long, based on whether it's taking support or it's breaking it or not. Okay, for existing trader, so if you have booked, if you haven't booked 1 2 3 4 days around here 1990 around partially, you should actually book partially around here and hold the remaining with trailing stop loss of 1950. Okay, the same level where new fresh positions will be can be accumulated, and uh, at the same time where the existing position should keep a stop loss at the same time. Okay, the target is basically 2100 around for Asian Paint, so keep that in mind. Well, so this is also again old stock which is shared in last week. So you can see there's been multiple setup breakout happened here, but price has been finding resistance around horizontal supply zone. So 42.4 to 43 around, this is where the supply zone lies, and price has been able to retest around 42.25, but price has been closed above all previous high. So previous highest closing was 40.65, now new closing is 42.65. So you can see the volumes are very strong here, so I'm expecting price to give a breakout, follow up breakout. But this is again, it's a CPSE stock, so yeah, so keep that in mind. And this could be a good opportunity from here, like in a sudden big move you can get 4-5 rupees easily, and 40 rupees stock for 4 rupees is like approximately 10% move. So that, keep that in mind. So if you get a breakout from here, you can get a quick 10% profit in this. SBIN. So this is only one stock of the top banking stock that I kept in the watch list. Because of the reasons I mentioned earlier as well. But anyway, so 207 was the new breakout level that I mentioned last time we spoke about this stock, and already shared. So it's closed here above 207, and then you can see the rest of it coming to 226, only 1 2 3 follow-up days. So 207 to 226, that's a 20 rupees, that's a 10% move in a large cap, which is very big. Okay, so 10% move, very big. And yeah, so what I did is partially profit booked a little bit, 25% around positions I already booked here, but I'm because the move was very sharp, that is why, main reason. Second thing is I'm expecting price to continue upward, at least to test 230 level, and then possibly 240 level. Okay, so that's my expectation for SBI, and even if a slight dips happens here, it's most likely dips will be bought into, so it's like a little bit dips and then fall. For trailing, 215 is will be the level where we'll be trailing. If there's a price comes below this, then that's a definitely exit for all position signal. Okay, but player who are playing up for a little bit longer, even that move might give you a buy and dips opportunity. Altogether, in long term also you will be avoiding if price closes below 202. So that when you will not hold the long term as well. Okay, so 202 is something that is long term marker for. The next one is PNB Housing Finance. So one of the top performing stock from last 2 weeks, and it has come to 3110 level, and I mentioned one of the intraday itself, 3110 is a, sorry, 310 is a resistance there. You can see there has been 2 days has been made same top. Okay, so I told that you should be booking most of positions here and hold the rest with a trailing stop loss which can hit it above. So this has been quite a long stocks. We have been buying and then holding, then partially profit booking, re-entering, doing all those things, and this has been quite a big move. So one of top performer for reasons. So 310 is immediate resistance. So if a closing basis or if you see gap up above this level, so that's a confirmation of breakout. Okay, so in that case you will keep 310 below stop loss, small top loss, and entry there. Okay, so for existing player you can add up positions if it's less than your part trade position. So depending on that you can add up more positions here, and then price continue upward, then you can look for next level around 374. So 310 above breakout, this is the level we look for. In alternative case where 310 is not able to break, price may go consolidation here. So in that case 285 will be kept for your retracement level. So price may come here and then give a breakout. So this is your retracement level, but if price come below 285, that will be a short signal and you can go for shorting there. Indiabulls Ventures, another stock which has been very big performing stock. This has been quite 2-3 weeks for this stock also. And why is there a circle around here? Anyways, so as you can see, okay, so this is the third time it's testing the same level 225. This level has been shared earlier also, and price is coming here. Also, the reasons we are still keeping this in our watch list, because I think there's a possibility of further breakout is there. If you see here, price has liquidated and they re-entered. They immediately regret that liquidation and they re-entered here again. So this candle low, this 3 candle, if you can see, 196, 195, this is where you will keep a stop loss for your existing or new positions. 195, 196 will be your stop loss. Okay, and then potentially it is likely to give a breakout above this and come to 240 level again. Okay, so if you're entering here, you have still decent stop loss to risk reward ratio in this. Price has a short term possibility of coming towards 240 level. So that's PNB Housing, then JSW Energy. So this is one stock that you can get both side opportunity here. Okay, so I'm expecting the increase in volatility in this. Okay, if you see here, it doesn't have a typical divergence here. As you can see, prices, the indicator and price both came higher, and the accumulation volume, they haven't been liquidated, so that's a good thing. Second thing, all the falls, there has been, bottom buying happened here. So same thing, I'm expecting a price to break out above 60, so that, which is this level, and then this is valid as long as price is keeping 54 above. So if price comes below 54, then there might be some profit booking possible, and it may break 52 as well at the same time. So this is two support is there, 54 and 52. So depending on your individual trade setup, you can keep either of them as a stop loss for your long. And I think this is also again a accumulation happening here. As you can see, there is no red despite there is no big red volume candles. Okay, so it may resume the move and it may give a breakout, so keep that in mind. So these will be my short term list. So these are not like hard boiled short term, which means it's possible that some of the stock may get stuck in their momentum and may move to mid term range. So when you are planning your trade, keep that in mind. So if you're doing a FNO trade in individual, keep that mind that stock, if it loses momentum, then that might case you will be losing your option premium. So all these things keep mind. Now we'll be moving to some of the midterm stocks, which I think has a good potential to perform, but I'm not sure whether the performance will have in September itself, or it may go for later period also. So some of them little bit higher time frame, if I may. So Blue Star, this AC stock, if you see, there has been very strong momentum. Okay, and price has been tested 712 this level. Okay, but the accumulation has been very sharp here, and the technical setup is also looking for very strong. But possibilities are, since there's a two candle which has both long wick in here, this is my one of the signal where it might go for a little bit sideways or retracement here. So in which place you will be going for your entry basically. So it will make a temporary bottom above here, and then you will go for entry, and that's it. So initial we are expecting 712 above breakout. It will come around 770, so which is like 8% around move. So that's possible in the script. Okay, with a great volume it came, so it's maybe it's just a one or two candle consolidation. It might continue move without falling as well. So that's why it's possible that it may come to a very short term trade as well. Though yeah, I'm keeping in the mid-term list, it may turn out to be a short-term depending on whether it's a catch up the momentum and give a fresh breakout, or go sideways or do a little retracement there. So that's for Blue Star. Then SRT Transport Finance. So Shriram Transport Finance has been given a trend line breakout here with a decent volume here. And if you see here, a little bit expand this, price has been still underperforming because the initial attempt on it's not able to escape after initial recovery as well. So 806 around or 807 around from 766. So this is a supply zone that has been caused over from March. So that's like 6 month supply zone, right? Which means this has a lower chance of breakout, but price, if it's able to hold that 766 above, then the breakout chance will become bigger. So in that case we can look for an entry with stop loss which is below 760. So I am expecting if price may go sideways here, or 760 to 86. So that will be our possible accumulation zone, depending on whether it's able to hold 760 above or not in that accumulation. So we'll wait for that. In that scenario also we'll accumulate in this zone and keep a short stop loss below it. that's one case. Second case is if price continue moving from here directly. So this is a strong volume, right? So if it's possible that price may follow up. In that case, this will turn into a very short-term trade, and we'll make an entry from this breakout. Okay, in case it gives a immediate breakout. In other case, we'll be accumulating around this zone. Apart from then, if it comes below 760, I'll avoid the script because because the long-term consolidation and consolidation may continue. CDSL, Central Depository is a high momentum stock. This is also I actually initially kept for short term because the momentum is very strong. You can see here it making a small rising wave and then it break away above the rising waves and then given a more breakout of further. Okay, if you look at a little bit earlier, 2017 IPO level, IPO opening high level is around 485. So this is where 470 to 490 in this zone price is expected to see some profit booking. So that will also be our short-term target in case it turns out to be a short-term trade. For mid-term, this is more of a buy and dip stock. So for mid-term, it will be we'll look for price to come down to 400 or in this upper trend line. Okay, so which is around 390. So 390 is 400. If price comes back, we'll look for dips there, and obviously we'll see if the volume should not be liquidated. So this build up volume is there. The correction should happen with low volume. So 319 400 for mid-term accumulation zone. For short term, if it's give a 435 above breakout, we can expect 470 level. NTPC. So NTPC, which the reason I kept in mid-term, this is also another I kept it possible a short-term script, but I moved it to mid-term because 1 2 3 4 5. So this is like threshold point where price should not sustain below this low, this whatever the latest low is, 101.4. If price comes below this, this will get invalidated for our longs. Okay, so in that case, we'll not look for long in here. So I told you that book profit in 106 partially at least, or keep a trailing stop loss is 106 because there is a resistance expected around 108 109. So that's same thing happened. Price tested this level 2 times, then NTPC, and you can see price has been consolidating here for 1 week. But this could be a turnaround point, which means next 1-2 days it's possible price to move up. In that case, it will turn to a short-term trade for us. So if it takes a support, price continue above 100.03, it will turn out to be a short-term reversal trade, and we'll look for 108 109 target and possibly a fresh breakout if happen. Okay, so that's a short term. For mid-term trade, we'll avoid completely if it comes below 98, and but if price stays sideways, we may look for small accumulation between these two level, 98 and 102. Okay. So that's why the reason we don't know whether when it will take support and start moving upward. That's why this is moved to a mid-term. Serum City. Okay, we have two Serum City Union Finance and Serum Transport Finance. Okay, so remember the auto sale numbers will also be there. So if it's a transport finance, that might get affected based on the auto numbers as well. So this one also an old stock which I told that we can do accumulations on dips, and you can see that 890 and 910 11 around, this is the support level expecting for this, and then you can see that retracement happen with low volume. So this is a signal that you can buy this in deep. Okay, so this is your buy in dip script, and expecting a fresh breakout in 1000, but since we don't know when the breakout will happen, so it may turn out to be a longer consolidation and then the breakout may happen. But since the volume is low here in consolidation, so this has a high conviction possible breakout in this script. Okay, so it's a high conviction trade, but in either cases we will keep the stop loss below 880 around, slightly below this 880 around. We'll keep a stop loss in case price comes below this, and that's possible these guys might exit also, and then in that case it may fall below this level as well. Okay, so we'll be prepared for that in case stop anything happens that way. Union Bank is a new stock that came in the scan. Okay, this is also a below 50 rupees stock, but this is a mid-term opportunity. If you see here, so price has a, this is testing this level. If you see here, break down here and then retested once, retested twice, retested thrice, retested 4 times. So this is 4th time testing, which means this from here onward all the retest from this level is a high breakout possibilities. The volume is also strong, which means as long as it's maintaining this candle low, which is 30 around, price may give a breakout above 32. So this will be your entry level 32 around. Sorry. So this will be your entry level 32 around. Keep a stop loss once the breakout happen below this 31, this closing, sorry, 31.4, slightly below this. So 31 keep a stop loss, 32 will be your entry. So just 1 rupee stop loss in this. And I'm expecting a breakout soon. If you are buying in the dips before the breakout happen or before the 32 levels, you should be looking at buying around 31 to 30. So you will be looking for buying around 30 to 31 level and keep a stop loss slightly below 30. Yeah, keep a stop loss around here if you are accumulating in dips. Okay, also not to mention the banks have been strong, so that gives a bigger chance of that increase the chances of breakout of this. Okay, initial level where you should be looking for partial profit booking will be 33, then 34. So 33, 34, and then you will be looking at 35 point something. So 30.5, 35.5. So these are the level you will be looking for. I'll just mark the major level, rest you can do it yourself only. What is this? Okay, so I'll mark these are the major level that we'll be looking for, 34 and 35.4 once the breakout happens. Okay, so that's the reason I kept it in mid-term. That's because you know this has been below 50 stocks and has been quite a long false breakout from here. If you see here, it has been moved off, given a breakout, and then it turned out to be false breakout. So that's why I kept it in a mid-term range. So which means in case the price does not give breakout, we'll still continue monitoring it for a bit longer period of time, expecting the breakout to happen. CUB. So this is stock already has been moved, and this was one of the stock we discussed 2 or 3 sessions back. Okay, so the stock I mentioned that we'll look for the stock to buy 120. Definitely this one I missed personally, and I'm not able to track so many stocks, so that's the reason I have missed this one. Nobody told that to tell me that there's a breakout in this week, and this week has been crazy, in terms of Bank Nifty anyway. So yeah. Anyway, so talking about this, you can see this has been breakout and then small constitution and price continue upward. So this gives a high conviction here that a lot of smart money entered around this. Okay, so that's why I'm expecting price may continue upward with and give a fresh breakout above 150. So 151. So I'm expecting price to continue above 151 and give a fresh breakout, where for fresh breakout we'll be keeping a stop loss around 139. Okay, or if the candle low is a little bit higher, maybe you can keep the breakout candle low is here and then candle high is here, you can keep the candle low as a stop loss. For fresh entry, existing player can book 25% partial positions here, keep trailing stop loss, add up some positions if price comes down to 140 again. Okay, for existing player, and keep a final stop loss below 128 again for existing pair mid-term. Okay, that is CUB, City Union Bank. This is one of the IPO stock. I think it came in last year. Finolex Cables. Okay, so the stock has given breakout here, but if you can see here, price is going sideways, so which is not following the break uh, post breakout rule, but that's also a reason because there's a lower high here. So from this lower high, price is taking resistance. So 311 around, price has resistance. Price gives a breakout, this may turn a short-term trade and might come to a 325 levels. So this may turn to a short-term trade and give you a quick profit here. But if price give a fresh follow-up breakout, you might get a bigger move in this. So that's why it's a mid-term stock. So it may we starting as a short-term, but we may go hold this for a longer period of time. All of this view is valid as long as price is staying above this level. Okay, so 294 is your price is coming below, closing below 294 is your stop loss. So that's a Finolex cable. Then there's a Adani Green. Adani Green Energy. So not to mention, this is one of the multi-bagger stock from last few years. From 2018 it came, and then you can see very sharp price. Price has a lifetime high around this candle, but we'll keep this candle itself as our immediate sorry, we'll keep this as your immediate level, 465. But if you see here, price has been steady accumulation here, and then it's a high momentum stock in the long term as well. So we'll look for accumulation here on the dips. If price does not close, immediately give breakout. If price gives a breakout, it will turn into a short-term trade and will catch that momentum. But if price goes a little bit sideways from here or a little bit consolidation from here, we'll look for buy-in dips in this. Okay, so since one of the reason last week very strong accumulation happened and price has moved quite a bit, so it's possible let's follow up with a small consolidation and then continue moving up. HR Motor is one of the stock, is a mid-term for a reason because price again, so it had a stock split up and price has tested around this high. And if you see here, this skewed W pattern and along with the RSI divergence in this, and this neckline W is 2340. So this one I covered in previous sessions. The price remain buy and dip stocks as long as holding this 2230 level, but price is coming down below this level, which means you will need to keep a stop loss below this 2150 if you are still accumulating. Okay, so for existing positions you will be looking reduced positions if price does not go above 2230. Also the auto sell numbers is there, so which means we'll need to keep that in mind. Auto sales number data, and SBI card, HDFC AMC also mid-term for obvious reason. So SBI card I mentioned it's a buy and dip script last week itself. If you see, there has been dips, multiple dips, and price has come around 845. Okay, so in short term if you are trading this, you will have to book continuously. So if you are buying in the dips, then you are booking 850, so like that only. So it's like 4 or 5% maximum you are booking. I kept it as a mid-term because the price may continue this kind of move, like it's a little bit correction and then going up like that way. But you can see the long-term trend is uptrend in this. Same goes for HDFC AMC, but except it's a different setup. HDFC AMC had a reversal setup which has given a breakout from. Now it's coming around resistance of horizontal resistance, which is previous lower high. It's finding same resistance around the previous lower high. If price give a breakout, price will continue upward and go to the next lower high, which is around 2620, and then continue further. So this is our bigger target, and this level 2440 below you should be avoiding if price comes below this. Okay, so that's a midterm because price not really strong momentum, neither there is big volume, that's why it's a midterm. So it may take some time to give the move. So if you are okay with holding for some more time, you can keep eye on this. Okay, so all of the stocks I discussed has been correlated with the Nifty as well, right? So initially like I mentioned, it will depend on the market. So most of the longs, all the longs will be invalid once it below 11340 or 11380. So if this zone is broken in Nifty, will not hold any long for short term unless that one long is specifically a different completely divergence from Nifty. So except that scenario, all the other cases the longs will get invalidated. So that's the one thing. Second thing, for short also, if price continue moving this way, you will not be looking for short. So if price stay between 11,535, 11,780, all stocks will remain valid to trade in either direction. It could be a short trade depending on where the opportunity persists. But if it 11,540 and 11,780 price stays between this range, then you may trade each individual stage depending on whether the move comes or not. So that's the market view. Just recap again for the market. There is a lot of fundamental data that will be released on the next week. So you'll need to be careful on some of the short-term trade for next week. And also I'm expecting some increase in volatility. And not to mention there is a small correction pending in the banks or Nifty. So there will be short opportunities who will try to keep the shorting here. But that may make it worse and price may continue because of the momentum is very strong. For those who are trying to play short, I would say wait for the momentum to slow down. Has to be either a red candle formation which comes below this closing, or the price has to be consolidating for a while before you initiate a short term. Don't short when the momentum is very strong, because that might eat your stop loss and put you in loss. So that's my suggestions for. And to trade all of this, you need to have basic understanding of price actions, to understand support, resistance and breakout, things like that. One thing. Second thing, you will need to have a setup, which means you know where you should exist even it does not go in your favor. So you need to have a proper risk management system, and don't trade all of your money in one stock. So keep that in mind. Okay, that will be all, and thank you for watching. Bye.